Nickie, we love you and miss you.
Thank you.
So, Nickie, we couldn't hear your speech, sadly. We were
You
too
couldn't hear
no.
my speech.
It was a little muffled
How
up there.
how do you like Pride today? All the years you've done this, what do you think in the rating of this year's Pride?
Every Pride is different and special in its own way.
Yep.
And I think this is another great Pride. There's a lot of great energy. There was, dancing and just everybody, a lot of high energy. Maybe it's because it's a little cooler, a little breezy this year, so you can,
I love it, though.
really be high energy. But I think it's great. I see a lot of young people. We're celebrating young people. We have our what was he? Our,
Danny Ray Sparks
Danny
as
Ray Sparks was
our
our
Grand Marshal.
Grand Marshal. That's a word I couldn't
He
find.
was just on a little while ago
He's
before
talking actually right now. We can't hear him. I'm sure he's fabulous.
Yeah, it's right here, back here.
I just talked about how we are celebrating our allies, but that it takes all of us to do this together. New York is so exciting.
I know.
And I think it gives me hope that we can, even with a Republican-run House and a Senate, we could do something here. They were able to do it with a Democratic House, but a Republican majority Senate. I think there's things we can do. We're trying to pass. I'm going to reintroduce the Equal Housing and Employment Act in the fall.
Very good.
And we're working on some anti-bullying, and including to protect our gay, lesbian, and transgender kids. And I think there's there's a lot of hope at the same time. It's like we have to lock hands and work together.
For sure.
So it's about being powerful, harnessing that collective energy, and just doing it.
You're gonna do it, Nickie, with
That's right.
with the troops behind you of Ohio.
With the troops.
That's
well,
right.
not behind me, next to me, locked in arms. We're gonna do this. I have a lot of faith in us.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I think that it's so hard when you see a place like New York that was able, because they still had the freedom without having DOMA in their way. And to know that we always have to go back to a whole nother situation to pull off that marriage equality stuff. But we still have a long way in Ohio to go just around general civil rights in the LGBT community.
Right.
So I think that alone, and maybe as we move forward with that, marriage equality will become more of a possibility.
Well, and it's a rough place to be in, where we have to depend on people not from our community to actually decide that we should have rights. It's kind of awkward, It's a little, and frankly, it's irritating. But the good thing is that we do have allies who are part of the majority, have the privilege, but are willing to stand next to us and work on this fight. And that's the only way we ever change things in civil rights battles. It's the only way we've done it in the past. So DOMA be damned, we're going to do it anyways. I really believe that, we're getting the message out in terms of, not only do we deserve equality, but it's just time.
Yeah,
it's time.
It is time. And I think the turnout here really shows. It's funny. And Cleveland's an interesting city, and you obviously are from here, but being the Rhode Islander that I am, and seeing how things operate here, a day like this though, I think that you feel alone a lot, in this community at times.
Sure.
And then you all of a sudden pull a day off like this, and it's like, whoa, our numbers are massive. And the diversity of those numbers are amazing.
Wonderful.
And it's every color, race, religion, all combined together.
Right.
In a place that a lot of times is pretty segregated. I think, you don't see the African American community and the white community always coming together, and in this situation you do see the rainbow happening here.
It is. Of course, on the west side of Cleveland and in Lakewood, we have a lot of diversity.
I would agree with that,
we mix and mingle quite nicely, thank you. We're working on even doing that better. But it is kind of the culture of our city. But I think that's another reason why we are a powerful voice, and that what we what we have to say matters.
I was talking to somebody. I was in D.C. the other day, and I was talking to a longtime HIV and AIDS doctor who had come out of the closet many years ago. He was in San Francisco, and he was saying to me that, him and his partner, for a while, they just disengaged. It was just so overwhelming, and they were not feeling that progress was happening. And they just felt like the community kind of got stale for a while, and that the focus, especially along gay white male community, was becoming more isolated in some ways and not caring about their brethren and the community as a whole, and more focused about being fabulous in one way but not bringing up everyone else. And I think in Cleveland you see a lot more potential for the community reaching out to all people and really bringing everyone up, because you still, even though you have the pocket of wealthy white gay guys that might find themselves...
Where are they? I need to find them.
They're here. They're kicking around.
I need to find them. Help me fundraise.
But the true majority here are not, and they're just people that live their lives, trying to do their thing. And I think in a community like this, you really can bring that up. And it's funny because he had that same doctor, just going back to him, he kind of came full circle because something happened to some clients of his patients of his, and he said, you know what? Why am I staying out on the sidelines? I really need to be engaged, and I am going to be engaged from now on. And he's no longer in San Francisco; he's in New York City. And I thought it's funny. Last night I thought about him as the gay marriage thing happened, because I know today New York is having its Pride, and I'm sure him and his husband will be marching in that.
Can you imagine? It's got to be crazy there.
Well, and how fun is it going to be when we finally get to legalize our unions here?
Yeah.
And legalize our families.
Yeah.
I think that will be an amazing day as well.
So you had somewhat of a, I would say you probably had a rough season with the budget.
It was a little bumpy ride.
And I know that you have stood really by the folks that do the great work of comprehensive sex ed.
Yes.
And you really were pushed against from the right wing.
Yeah.
In so many ways.
That's right. And when you're pushed like that, and when you're in a legislative body, the way you push back is you introduce legislation.
Oh, yeah.
So I introduced Prevention First legislation this past week. It includes comprehensive sex ed that's age appropriate. It includes access to condoms and contraceptives for everyone. And it also includes a whole part of a CARE Act, which is compassionate care for people who have been raped.
Oh, wow.
So we introduced it. We're pushing back. We're saying because all of these reproductive health anti-abortion bills that they've introduced, there's no exceptions for rape or incest. I mean, it's gone beyond just whether or not somebody has a belief in when life begins and that they are anti-abortion. This goes down the road of really making dangerous decisions about women's reproductive health care, and it goes way too far.
Yeah.
And so I've been fighting that, as well as trying to pass legislation to end the death penalty.
Yep.
And get a jobs bill. We got a little bit of everything going on. I've been a busy girl.
And you're very involved. You are a busy girl, Nickie. And you also are a part of the whole Senate Bill 5 and trying to change that.
Absolutely.
And people here in Ohio should make sure you sign those petitions. If you see those petitions, definitely get out and sign them. And for folks that are more concerned about LGBT stuff and maybe less about union, just know that in that bill, just to zing it to us, they even put a whole thing in there around gay marriage and in the bill, right?
Well, they put it in. They did take it out.
They did take it out?
The reaffirmation.
Okay.
They did take it out. But during the Holocaust, Pastor Neumeiler said, first they came for the trade unionists. I wasn't a trade unionist, so I didn't stand up. Then they came for the professors and the intellectuals. I didn't stand up because I wasn't one of them. And by the time they came for me, there was no one left to stand up for me. And so if gay people wonder why they should even care about unions and about collective bargaining, it's because if you're not in a union, today it's the trade unionists, but tomorrow it's everyone else. They're already trying to take apart and dismantle private unions. So it's just a matter of time. It's about working people and then the top 1%, and damn it, we're not going to give the top 1% all of our money and all of our access to resources and keep all of us down, poor and pitiful.
Yeah.
We stand up now. So every single gay person needs to get involved with this. And beyond that, you need to get involved with school levies and other things that are happening in your community. Be a constructive part of your community. Right. It's the most important thing we can do.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say, Nickie, I know that when you were running, people would say that, oh, she's lesbian, and maybe that's all she's going to care about is LGBT stuff. And you've done such an amazing job at making sure that all the issues are talked about, and that you're not a single issue candidate. Politician at all. A candidate was the old language. Yeah. And the fact is that you do care about all of the residents of your district, and in that you bring everyone together, and I think it's brilliant.
And in that way, thank you. But in that way, I'm just like every other gay person. I mean, we are multidimensional. Yeah. We're not just about our identity, but we're part of our community, our family, our neighborhood, and it's really important that people understand that there's been that drive to try to make us a stereotype, and so wherever we can, we need people to know us as complete human beings.
Mm-hmm. And you are a complete human being.
Well, thank you so much. So are you.
And a beautiful human being.
Oh, thank you so much.
So, Nickie, you have anything exciting during your break over the summer?
Yes, I'm going to Harvard.
I know you are.
I am.
So tell us a little about your Harvard.
I'm so excited. I
got to tell you. Your star just keeps on shining. Now you're going to be like, well, a little Harvard thing here and there.
Harvard thing. So the Kennedy School for policy, for senior policymakers in state and local government. And I was selected. I also got a scholarship from the Victory Fund. Little plug for the Victory Fund. They are awesome at helping gay and lesbian candidates and electeds stay in their seats. They raise money. They help support us across the nation. They are changing the face of representation in all our states. And so I'm going to Harvard for 3 weeks. So I'm going to be a student.
I love it.
And I'm real excited about it because it'll just help me with public policy, because it's really important to me that I do the best job I can as a representative.
Well, it's great. I mean, certainly. Do you know that campus at all? It's just such a Cambridge.
No, I've only visited once.
I'm telling you.
Our daughter goes to
MIT,
school
right?
in Boston. No, she goes to Northeastern.
Oh, Northeastern.
She's working on her doctorate in electrical engineering. She's brilliant.
And it's so nice you get to see her. She is brilliant.
Yes,
yeah.
she is brilliant.
Yes, your other half is definitely one of those very smart women.
Yes.
But I want to say to you is, you'll really love that campus and just being in Cambridge. It's such a great feel in my old stomping grounds.
The only thing I know about it is Love Story.
Oh, God.
Oh, humble. It's so excited. No. That was a long time ago. Okay, I'm dating myself. But anyway.
So when do you leave?
So I'm in July.
Right,
So I have time where, 4th of July parade in Lakewood, which is big fun. And we still have another week of session, and we do a lot of constituency services. So even though we're on break doesn't mean we stop. We never stop working. And you know how I am. I'm sort of a workaholic.
You are
I'm in
a workaholic.
recovery, but
Yeah.
So,
I don't think that's going very well for you.
I know my recovery from workaholic isn't going well, but it's such an honor to be in this job. I love it. So.
Yeah. Well, we are lucky to have you representing us.
Thank you.
Nickie represents my district,
yes,
District 13 here in Ohio, and
lucky
I think
13.
And we're very fortunate to have her.
Yeah.
Well, I know that you have a lot of schmoozing to do today.
I do.
Your people are out there, Nickie. You need to go visit them.
Thank you.
And we love
thanks
having
for
you.
doing this.
All right, we'll see you soon, honey.
All right,
bye.
Bye, Nickie.
All right, have a great day.